It might be hard to hear me. I'm on 34, walking my nice little bike with everything I've got in the world onto, well, if not greener pastures, different pastures. So, I just uploaded a video, which I had originally uploaded only for like a day, if even a day, but so as to show her, the person in it, what am I seeing? That you, okay, so I uploaded that video and then I took it off, so because I didn't want to like thoroughly rub her face in dirt. But notice now that I've been just like uprooted out of, albeit her house, but under hideous circumstances. She sprained Cinnamon's wrist, and then I don't relent as to her and all the neighbors being, oh, they are so disgusting. Picking on a little kitten because I love her. So I don't relent and I keep the pressure on in such ways as I guess you'll have to keep reading or keep watching to get a better appreciation for. But so that they pulled that shit with that disgusting, Lisa, Simpson. What a sweet character. Oh, you know, she always knows what's best. But what was I saying? Anyways, notice how the person in that video still doesn't account for why, like, the day after I have to put a video on YouTube about how AT&T hasn't delivered my phone, suddenly it magically appears. That was the whole root of the video. I had more to say. Aside from the fact that, oh jeez. I always forget one point, but I gotta say it in a different one. One of the officers came over to Johanna's, where I just got done living. And he's like polishing my cock with his goddamn voice. He's like citing my characteristics. And he cites a high IQ. A high IQ. But this guy's trying to convince me that I'm just paranoid and that I'm seeing things wrong. I'm the one with the world-class IQ, and this fucking nitwit is gonna do my thinking for me. Do you know how fucking stupid that sounds? So it's like, imagine dealing with these things. This guy comes in and flatters the grandiosity that they all say that I'm engaging in, as these people synchronize everything of the local society around me. Try to get them to, like, first of all, understand the words you're saying in language, and then, like, do it with the straight face of them, like, licking their eye, as they're just like, and so, okay, what next? And then, first of all, you not just, oh, would you stop that? Licking your fucking, that is so weird. Stop licking your eye. That is, you're reptilian. But I mean, like, you don't have, like, you look human. Please don't lick your own eye as I'm trying to speak to you. And these things are horrible. And then the guy today, this big imposing officer with the Kendall County Sheriff's Department, he asked for Johanna's cell phone from me, as though like he had handed me pages and pages of bullshit, absolute bullshit. And he asked me for then Johanna's number. And then, like, I could tell I fucked him off on his radio because, first of all, this guy's coming to the place alone. None of these guys have come alone, nor should they. Why, as a police officer, are you ever going onto a potentially dangerous and deranged subject or individual, especially one with as goddamn fine physique as me? Like, if I wanted to fight, I wouldn't be just some easy thing to handle. Quick, fast, quick, strong, not the biggest, not the strongest, except, below the belt. But I mean, at 150 pounds, 5'8", maybe a little more, formidable at least. This guy comes by himself, albeit Michael Clark Duncan, big old boy of African descent, this officer and citizen of these great United States. But I mean, he comes alone. I'm guessing Lisa Simpson is my, I love that she's a great character. She's got the little star on her head. It's supposed to be like one of those old Renaissance painters, star on the head. And then Marge is like the British royalty. Homer is 2 lines across his head. As you know, it's a Jewish thing. And Bart is, whatever. They do things like that. Like, Peggy is also supposed to be British royalty. Peggy Hill. Henry, Hank Hill. Khan's shins were blown off, like, I think of Nebuchadnezzar's image. It's like the FBI got its shins blown off from both sides. Or army. This guy comes into the place, the domicile, comes over alone. I mean, the day that they just, like, literally woke me up out of sleep. No inclination that she's never even asked me to, like, exit her domicile. Like, I've said to her, they have withheld my last check from me in the winters. I'm starving. I was like, I thought this tax refund was coming a lot sooner than not yet. Here now, September, filed it April 16th or 17th. I think it was a day late. They had a grace period this year. It's like, I'm trying to get the fuck out, and she rolls her eyes. Like, I don't trust you one bit. And I say, who are you today? Because this woman, she can be incredibly sweet and conscientious at times. But, like, the day that I then took the video off so as to not thoroughly humiliate her or just, like, have a permanent record that somebody feels this person's a fucking sociopath, I come back to her domicile that she has graciously hosted me at and never asked me to leave before her lizard friend, who may or may not had put some big black licorice, I think, and then send this, the Green Mile. You want some cornbread, boss? Anyways, what was I saying? Kidding? They would call that scattered thoughts. I would call it skirting around a subject. Lisa, black licorice. Lisa, it's your birthday. Okay. Sorry. That's the showman coming out of me. Yeah, trying to make it fun for the audience. I don't have anything, to throw at the crowd or nothing. But they always throw shit at me. Even when I'm just like going through town, they spit on me and shit. Anyways, this guy comes over. I deleted the fucking video though, so as to not rub her nose and shit. When I get back to her domicile, which she has graciously hosted me at and hasn't asked me to leave prior to that weird, absolutely bizarre turn of events after I made a video about someone from Pennsylvania who she otherwise should have no knowledge of. Yet I think the guy's mom is perhaps abomination is how the Lord said it. But I mean, take that how you will. It doesn't necessarily mean like wearing dead bodies as the most hideous meat puppet war deception ever conceived. I mean, that's what some people might postulate. I'm not saying, I'm giving no definitive opinion on the matter whatsoever of my own. But no, it's just gotta have faith. Goddamn lizards. I get back to her domicile, it's got like a bunch of groceries. She always has like a coffee cake. She even let me cut her a piece. I have never handled this woman's food in my life. I asked her, hey, I just was just being a little scamp and I'm breaking into this thing after we just have this argument. But now it's like reconciled. I opened first the coffee cake, which is there on the table, on the counter, and she's sweet, she'll do that. Like, I'll come back after, and I know it's a shit, like somehow she knows it's a shitty day. Somehow everybody knows it's a shitty day. Nervous and it's like, sometimes that's a huge pick-me-up that I come back and she's done some grocery shopping for my benefit. Like, I'm totally indebted to this woman. I have acknowledged this the entire time, and when she and her friends do these things where, like, I log on for, I arrive back from workouts, I set down to my work, all my ritual unto my writing is, commencing unto now the writing. I'm sitting down, turn on my own, either her Wi-Fi or my hotspot, doesn't matter. But then I listen to her stomp into the bathroom, do something every time, like an inordinate amount of time for just like one to just, it's not trivial, it's not something that is rare. It's an often occurrence, and then I can't use my thing until I log out. It's just like, until I'm always like the third, I retain autonomy, like the third, fourth, or fifth swipe on my phone or tap on my browser on that shitty ASUS laptop Chromebook. Terrible fucking thing. I got a new password. I had him call my cell phone to give me that password, made a new one. This Chromebook then, when I'm online, demands now an old password to verify the same Chromebook that I've been on the entire time. These fucking scoundrels. But this big guy comes in there, perhaps, Lisa likes licorice. Who doesn't like? I don't know if I like black licorice. I mean, I would. Those little bits you get at Halloween that aren't phallic. It's like now like little. It's like a bigger, I don't know, a little wafer of fucking licorice. But that's just, a metaphor of, Lisa. That chick is repulsive. Not Simpson. I love Lisa Simpson. What a great character. Who was I talking about? But that guy just comes over alone in the midst of it's just right in the morning. The night before, the woman, my aunt, left her own house. I'm like, no, let me leave. Are you fucking kidding me? So that you can claim it as like an expense that I now owe you on top of everything else, as you've given them my given them an open forum unto all my stuff in such things as were schemed upon, not just by coincidence. But the guy the night before, I'm like, let me leave. You go, you stay here, and I will take off. And the guy's like, well, I mean, they discharged you, right? The officer. This guy was humane. Different one. Not the idiot who's doing my thinking, though I'm the 200 IQ and more. As this guy is like reciting to me, this is the talk around town. I mean, you got a character, you can be obnoxious, but people, it's a sideshow. Over 200 IQ, you got a great thing going, whatever I don't know if he mentioned, but he's like, then he's telling me how I'm just paranoid. I'm like, have you ever gone to somewhere and you didn't tell them your number or your name and they looked you up nonetheless and could access your application? That's like the Truman Show. Now imagine the planes flying all the way over your head all the time. I'm in Little Yorkville, Illinois, over my aunt's little back deck. And like the way the court papers read, respondent claims that airplanes are monitoring him overhead. And what a fucking joke. And this big burly black guy, Lisa loves black licorice. This other Lisa I met is a disgusting fat pig. What those two have to do with each other? Well, I mean, I heard that different Lisa likes black licorice, the candy. I mean, I bet it would be horrific. Horrific, just awful. But it's like they send this other guy on who needs me to give him my aunt's number, even though he's in direct communication with her. I give him my number on his radio, and I could tell it fucked him off. He was quivering, speaking to me, because I'm speaking calm and eloquent. I understand. And like we talked for like, he expects me to be afraid because he's this big black guy. Give a shit? You want some cornbread balls? This fucking guy, by the end, his quiver is apparent in his voice. Like, I think I fucked up. How I could have made him fuck up. He just expected a much different demeanor from me, and he knows that I'm going to smell through his bullshit, I think. People are very nervous, and the more they conduct themselves to not hide themselves, the more they expose themselves to anybody with a fucking brain and who's gone through these things for like a decade and more. Anyways, that guy comes over by himself. The first day where they woke me up out of sleep at 6 p.m. on a Monday night to haul me in. Out of nowhere. Like, she's never asked me to leave the place. And her disgusting, a different Lisa I once met, horrible, disgusting pig. But she whispers into cat wrist sprainer, bender, snapper. My aunt whispers into her ear. Anyways, every fucking cop in town was gathered around like, this guy might run for it. Why? I don't know. I've never been anything but like forthcoming with the police in every way that I've ever had to be. I'm like, they're not allowed to acknowledge it, but so imagine this guy with a 200 IQ who is giving the government these prime number generators, right? Which, if used correctly, can just pretty much give you access to every fucking password in the world. I just gave the U.S. government, knowing that they're listening and watching everything I do, and I just put it out there with my fucking phone. Hey, did you notice this? Then a couple months later, maybe even unto a year later, no one's done anything about this, though the intention has certainly intensified. I just sent it out to some colleges. Don't hear anything back. And then some idiot on YouTube, which in a two-part thing, after speaking with me for 9 minutes, denies having just spoken with me, tells me he doesn't think I thought of those things. Moron, I put them out there. The prime number generators. So like, guy with a 200 IQ does the prime number generators and has hundreds of pages of writing, which can keep both dullards and scholars engaged and enjoying the process of our discussion on the page. Ay, ay, ay. And this guy, they had, but I've only been forthcoming with the police. Like, I've felt like we became friends for a little bit, but then, they're all pigs and whatnot. The second guy though, like, he's like, well, I mean, they engaged you, they discharged you, right? I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, well, I mean, there's no court order against you to leave the house. So, I mean, he's kind of making it seem like, no, we get it. She's full of shit. Her and her friends are disgusting pigs. These things, such as had the big guy. And here's to you, Mr. Robinson, Kendall County's biggest, officer. He talked with her, but he asked me for her number. He's been in communication with her on his like radio. I bet within audio of his radio, my voice, asking him if I can give him my number, and like he just like verify that this monster has returned to her house to take care of these two cats that I love. Because this monster, Maggie, you could not. This Maggie like starved to death. I think she starved. She traumatized Maggie. The 3 months of their bullshit and Pepper is deaf and blind in Johanna's house, smacking her little noggin against the walls. I'm speaking too much, so they're gonna come by. But that big guy came with nobody. The day they came out of nowhere, like this, I can't believe she did this. She fucked up with, like if you are a fucking human, you love anything. Somebody just like hurting it because they don't like you. That is such a fucking mental sting. Like these things that I haven't. Yesterday, staying in her living room while she took a night off somewhere else. The only work I've gotten done in like a month since she started this bullshit. This disgusting pig. And AT&T, these things which have waged war against me for years and years. It's like only now that I had their service did I realize it. I mean, it was all of them, but like this one has been not like, it's been there, this hand around me in plain sight. Good Lord, it looks like I got like, I'm not that tired. Terrible lighting though. Tan. Well, I have been up a long time. These people are disgusting though. The night they came, 2 days before. So this is Monday 30th, August 30th, 2021, just a couple days ago. They wake me up 6 p.m., take me to the hospital. They discharge me 3-4 hours later. I walk back from Mercy Hospital in Aurora onto Johanna's house. When I get there, she has the place like locked. I don't even know if she's in the house. I'm like knocking on the door. I know that she doesn't want me there, but I mean, I don't have a court order there. I should have squatters' rights. That he just kicked me out is ridiculous after she does these things. She is an evil pig. Deborah Jackie Sue. I'm just gonna say those names out loud. You know, make of it what you will. Which I've been anticipating being kicked out, but it's like she's never told me. She's never made it. Like said, it went from me being like, I can't fucking wait to leave, to her getting a court order and them having like the doctor without doing any, he did like this social worker did this like evaluation and they said it was a manic episode. I've never been diagnosed with bipolar or anything. I had a nervous breakdown in 2017 in which I was anorexic and anemic, even worse than I have been in these months in Yorkville. These people are disgusting, blacklist you. The same day they did the thing with the screaming cat, with my screaming cinnamon, as they did the engines around upon my waking, which prior was utterly serene and quiet, the surroundings. They had Goober the Drupal, the 500-pound, disgusting, swampy, unrespirated orifice, who blackmailed me out of my most lucrative job ever. As I'm like frantic looking for my cat, she drives her enormous, disgusting face like that video I made in which I showed a video of her through my video doesn't do any justice. You don't see her from the waist down. You've never seen anything so heinous. It's like even if you make this thing laugh, it's going to blackmail you out of your job when you won't fuck it. She caught me smoking weed on a break, and this old fucking wretch, this nice man at Elgin, the owner, but he's just like set in his old stupid ways. I am so efficient getting high. She catches me doing that. Well, I guess if you don't want. Oh, you disgusting pig. Ladies, hashtag sometimes him also. Okay, here I had the nerve to judge the moon by her fucking looks in this generation of Me Too. So it's like, no, boy, yo, the hot girls have always had to have some brutish, disgusting pig. And now, I know what it's like. They're penis haver. You know, every fucking time I have a job, you should have seen the pigs at the fucking hotel. Oh my God. And that became just this petty, disgusting thing. The manager of like the housekeeping crew. This troll, I would watch eat no less than 4 plastic flotation device, gross, cinnamon buns in the morning, which are like the size of a fucking plate. By the end, she would have a full tray of these things down. This stout fucking troll. That thing made it a fucking terrible work environment when I wouldn't fuck her. Because I'm so good looking. No, it's somebody with confidence with a dick. It's so rare around these parts. These men are disgusting fucking sodomites. But this guy came alone after everybody else both times came with a crew. Especially with the ambulance. Like, there were people like, okay, we have this perimeter. It's like, there's like 20 people around the 360 degrees of a 50 diameter circle. It's like, what the fuck is this? As though I'm the violent one. I'm making complaint every time I make it at LA Fitness in these gay, this gay underbelly of suburbia. It's disgusting. Anybody, I'm looking for legal help. Just the most basic advice, just to get a lawsuit started, because these things have been so heinous to me. And I've got so much on video that I want to show it. I want to sue LA Fitness for everything its company's worth. That's like Esporta Fitness and LA Fitness. But I mean, so there's a guy in Yorkville. What a pro-social thing. This guy is giving away 3 free hours a week of free legal advice. Just like, anybody can go in there and ask this guy. It's like, do you know that guy's giving away, like, they're mad. They don't like these things. Give a fuck what these idiots think. If that guy's giving away free legal advice, like someone like me, that guy's a fucking saint. But then, of course, the week I was going to use it, he called off. And then here by now, I'm kicked out of, Wilbur's fucking house under the almost worse pretenses than with Caroline in her house. Except I was on the verge of mental, nervous breakdown then, anorexic and anemic. It's like that place was a carnival of disgusting things. But if anyone sees these things, I just need the most basic legal advice to start a case. These things, like this idiot calls me paranoid and then like licks her eye and says, she acknowledges like that she lied. Like, but then you call me paranoid, but then you lied to me and engage in these things. And she licks her eye. It's like, you disgusting reptile, what are you fucking thinking? Who shat these fucking gargoyles out and put them all around Yorkville, Illinois? And this was yet to be accomplished in the Lord, that he should be reckoned among the transgressors. Hey, do you think he means that they thought he was guilty, or that the guilty knew that he was innocent, or that the guilty knew that he was the good lamb that was going to send them to their eternal hell? And he was reckoned among the transgressors because they were looking for him. And this flock is just a bunch of fucking cock-hungry, disgusting old men and children and wives that just need some guidance for their kids because their husbands are, gay sodomites. Especially around here. Church isn't for men, though. It's for weird old men and vulnerable children and moms trying to balance the checkbook and, what else? Give this kid some sort of firm footing. What else is she going to do? Put him in the Boy Scouts? Are you fucking kidding me? That thing is a disgusting, angry fascist homosexual factory. The Boy Scouts. These things that hate themselves for playing with the boys while camping. That's the truth. I don't give a fuck how anyone feels about it. But here I think this is 8/12, Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. I just need the most basic legal guidance. Not even just like, how do you... I went to the Yorkville County Courthouse. She said, you have to file it. I would have to file it if I'm where I live. And I'm like, it's not where the business is based. But she said where I live, and like, they couldn't give me any advice. They couldn't give me any like procedural insight to begin with. They just said like, look at these websites, and I mean, they could not be less helpful. Everyone around here is the biggest piece of shit. They're all just these cowards in this subsocial cock-swallowing factory around here. This cock-swallowing persuasion of all these idiots. They're disgusting. Hey, anybody want to leave a comment? I'll call you back. I got a phone. AT&T doesn't give it any service, but I mean, technically, the government's paying them $50 a month to let me get phone calls and give phone calls. So, if you give a number or something, email me or something, maybe I'll holler back at you.